You have to remember, see, it's kind of like died down a little bit, but like at the time, my profile in the industry, or the way critics wrote about me, or part of the thing that they always talked about me, all right, was violence, 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 violence. He's the violence guy, and he likes violence, all right, so in movies, all right? And so if you were going to take a slab at me, it was like almost like I'm immoral for doing what I'm doing, all right? Like saying liking violence in movies is the same thing as liking violence in real life, all right? Yeah, it's just not.
Quentin Tarantino has always had a reputation for violent films ever since his debut film Reservoir Dogs was released in 1992. Critics and audience members have always cited Tarantino films as unnecessarily violent, but are Tarantino films as violent and gory as people think? Tarantino films do contain blood and scenes of a violent nature, but why are they more highlighted in Tarantino films than any other films? For example, Sergei Einstein's 1925 silent film Battleship Potemkin features violent scenes, as seen in the famous Odysseus Steps sequence. However, this scene is not remembered for the frightened people, blood and brutal deaths of innocent civilians, but more the tension Einstein builds to the baby in the stroller going down the steps. Now let's take the infamous torture scene from Reservoir Dogs, or as Tarantino would say.
Or do you want to see Reservoir Dogs? What's that? Well, that's the movie where the guy gets his ear cut off, you know? And that's how it was thought of. It's thought of the movie where the guy gets his ear cut off, all right?
Just like Battleship Potemkin, which was filmed 67 years prior to Reservoir Dogs, this scene features a similar amount of tension and bloodshed, which in fact the most gory aspect of this scene not even being filmed as the camera pans away when Mr. Blonde cuts Officer Nash's ear off. So there you have two scenes filmed 67 years apart and are remembered for different reasons, despite containing very similar aspects in terms of violence, blood, gore, and also music. Tarantino picks an upbeat, bubbly song to go along with his torture scene, where Einstein uses an opera song choice to really put emphasis on the horror that is being shown on the screen, which I think is very important, as both directors have picked a unique song choice to heighten the tension even more and the shock value. So why is Tarantino's scene remembered more for violent nature? Well, I think the answer comes in the sadistic nature the scene is filmed, and also the way Tarantino wants to control his audience.
I do believe that I'm the kind of director that I want to play you as an audience. I want to be the conductor, and you're my orchestra. And the sounds that I make you to make and the feelings I get you to feel, and then I stop you from feeling those feelings and I give you something else to feel, and then I stop you from feeling that and make you feel something else yet again. Well, if a director can do that, if a director can pull it off, well, that's a real lucky audience member, because you've really had an experience that night. You went to the movies. That was worth leaving the house, because hopefully you're doing it in sync and in unison with other people around you, and you're all having those feelings.
And that clip right there explains why Tarantino creates violent scenes. Tarantino wants to emotionally control you, and the best way to do that is through violent scenes. If you want to get the best emotions out of people while watching a film, then a violent scene is perfect for that. As with violence comes different emotions. Some violent scenes can make the audience cry, others can make them laugh or perhaps angry. And that is why violence is so prolific in films of Tarantino, because in his words he is a cheerleader for violence and wants to showcase violence for all its means and ways that it has been throughout film. While sometimes it can be over the top in Kill Bill, Tarantino is the master of using violence in his films and knows where and when to use it for emotional effect. And also the other reason why Tarantino uses films is
because it's so much fun, Jan. Get it?
Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for the dime. His sister had another